Hello, it's me again. I thought I'd show you the garden at its worst possible time in February, middle of winter. We've had some frosts, they have had effect. Um, there's been a couple of casualties, so I just thought I'd have a quick walk round, show you the garden, and tell you a couple of plans for the near future. So, of course, middle of winter, and the Armandii is looking great, nice and evergreen. Jasmine's reddened off a little bit, and obviously the climbing hydrangea's lost all its leaves, but they will come back pretty soon in the next month or two. Yucca Strata, they are hardy. I have thrown a bit of fleece over the top just when it was about the -5 bit, but other than that, I've just left it to it, and it's doing fine. As you can see, these here troughs which have some perennials in. I'm going to be removing those and replacing with something else soon. So here we are, depths of winter, and we still have green. We've still got a living garden that isn't a desert. And as you can see, despite the cold, none of these have been affected. Polycarpa is doing great under the canopy, protecting them all. All the ferns are evergreen. This euphorbia has done really well. The other two are put in, for some reason, haven't done as well, so I've moved them to a part of the garden where they can't be seen as much. Hopefully they'll do a bit better. Move this fatsia out the way because the banana wrapping wasn't doing it any good. It was under the fleece, so that seems to have taken okay. Obviously the fatsias went pretty limp when it was -5, getting rid of all the water so they didn't freeze. Popped straight back up. Zero dieback on the top on this one. Again, nice and protected. And then over here, a little bit of dieback at the top, but nothing much, just the odd leaf, which I'll remove after the frosts. Might as well leave it on and protect the leaves below it. Hellebores not flowered under there, maybe a bit too dark. And then I've put a little Arum Italia under here, which I know can spread a bit, but I got it for free, and I put another one in as well. Keep an eye on it, see how it does. It is in a trough. I do like the foliage on these, but we'll have to see if it stays under control. Where I got it from, it hadn't really spread at all in many years, so we will see. Obviously all here, nice and evergreen. Moriali Winter Joy, when I bought it this time last year, didn't have much joy in it. It looked half dead. So I thought possibly this time of year again it might do the same, but no, it's looking absolutely fantastic. Put a little bit of fleece under this little chamarops, but probably just being over precautious, but never mind. Begonia doing really well. Again, that went really soft with the rain, with the frost. Bounced straight back up, looking better than ever. That's your spider's web, looking great. Obviously, I'm going to leave the dead heads on. The hydrangeas protect until after the frost. We get some nice new flowers coming up. And camellias looking great. Fatsia polycarpa here. Now that's about a quarter the size of a couple of the other ones, which are over underneath the palms. So I'll have a think about what's going to happen with this, whether I keep it here or whether I move it on at another time. Unfortunately, nature did take its course with the Dixonia antarctica in the end. They stayed green right up until pretty much Christmas. And then we had that -5 for a couple of days. Obviously, we've got the protection here. So there should be some new growth soon. I am watering these once every other week or so, and then feeding once a month still. There's bamboo here. The exact species name, Verinda fragata. Not really doing anything yet here, so I might move those. over to this border, see if they do a little bit better, and just put in some, maybe another Rio Yellow Winter Joy, just to screen that fence off. Again, I put another aramon there, right at the end of the garden. And then I got as a gift, someone was throwing this out. So it's Mahonia, I think it's a soft caress. It's 6 foot high. We're just going to throw it in the bin, and I saw it, and I said, "Do you want that?" And they said, "No." I said, "Right." So bonus, planted that up. Very happy with that. As you can see, all the ferns are evergreen, bar one, which is down here. Now, when it's really cold, the water sprays on that and goes all over and freezes. So that's why I don't mind that particular one not being an evergreen, because it'd probably die back anyway. So that's why I've left that one. So New Zealand grass. Some years these can get knocked back a bit when it's really cold for a while, -6, 7 for a few days. They really can get knocked back a bit, those. But it's not affected it this year. So I've been very happy with those. You will know the names of some of these ferns here. I mean, the foliage on that. Middle of winter. Absolutely beautiful. Got a loquat tree here. New purchase. I'll put the name of the nursery. I think it was Wood End Nursery, actually, just near Widnes. He had a few of these. I've been wanting one for ages. It's at the back of the garden. Obviously, it's going to grow high in time. So I thought, ultimately, obviously, this magnolia, in hindsight, I'd have probably got an evergreen one, but I planted it when I planted it. We do get, obviously, the lovely white flowers, but it does look bare. But fortunately, obviously, there's evergreen hedge that I planted all the way behind it. But it'd be nice for the loquat to grow up and form more evergreen in this gap in the years to come. If we go over here, we have got Buddleia. Now then, this has been here a long time. I do like it. But one of the sacrifices with a very small garden is you've really, really got to make a decision about what's going to go in and where. And I've just bought a couple of quite special plants, and the only place for one of them, unfortunately, is going to have to go in here. Brassioopsis. And I think it's going to have to go in here, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to get rid of the Buddleia. I did have behind here, I'll show the gap, and I will inlay what used to be there. I'll put in another Mahonia soft caress there. There was a Australis fern, palm, and they're meant to be hardy to about -5. I'll put an overlay of the thing. Anyway, we had 2 days of -5, 6, and I had wrapped it, I'd put fleece over the top, and unfortunately, it just went completely black. So I've dug that out. I've not got time to have plants in that need to be put indoors, or the capacity to. I want it to be a practical garden that I can, use with exotic looking things, but they don't have to be brought inside. I gave it a go, didn't work. Life goes on. Hopefully this will stand new leaves soon. The Albesia. It did up until recently, and then unfortunately, will it focus in? No, it won't. But unfortunately, they've just been nipped by the cold. There's one here, so we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, it's alive, it's healthy. Again, these are loving it here. And the Taiwanianas, Schleifera Taiwanianas, absolutely thriving under the canopy. Cold's not affected them, didn't do any protection on them, just left them to it. And again, you see, look at this polycarpa here. So this is doing absolutely amazing, amazing. And that was planted at exactly the same time as that, which isn't doing amazing. It's about 4 times smaller. Formian, I put a bit of fleece, probably been a bit daft to be honest. Put a bit of fleece in the middle. I know they're hardy as anything, but they do drop and dip, and this one got knocked back a few years ago, although it's pretty mature now, so it's probably all right. And then if we have a look here, we've got our Tetrapanax, and under here we have got some new growth. which is why I've been a bit probably over the top in putting some fleece cover over it, because I just want to protect those nice new leaves for the year, give it a head start. Down here, never really mentioned the monkey puzzle tree either. This is now about 18 foot. Something a bit different. Planted it right in the middle because obviously they're really spiky. You don't need to go anywhere near where you can touch the thing. I'm not going to touch the thing to show you how spiky it is. But yeah, that was about 3 foot about 10 years ago. So it's doing really well. Love that. Really exotic looking. You don't see them as much in many gardens, probably because they end up taking over them. People are a bit worried, but in my lifetime, hopefully it won't enter the house. And then if we go down here, again, evergreen ferns. And then we've got Butea capitata, which has survived. I know they're pretty hardy. I did put a little bit of fleece just at the bottom before, and I planted it here because it's nicely protected under all these fancias here. Another fancy there. Pond, I've not had to fill this and put any water in it for months. We've had enough rain to keep it going. Clematis here, flowering. And hellebore, flowering as well. So we've got a bit of flower. And then these have gone a little bit sort of variegated in the cold fasciculata bicolor. Oh, you can see a frog here. They are visiting now in the pond. Looks like this one is about to give birth, possibly. And down here, I was very happy to have put all these grasses that are evergreen, because obviously it would have been completely bare. Liriope Big Blue look fantastic. Obviously black bamboo looks really good until it flowers, whenever that may be. So I just thought I'd give a quick run round of the garden. February, middle of winter, still looking good. And obviously I wouldn't be daft enough to plant anything else out at this time of year. You know, I'd wait till the spring. I wouldn't bob to B&M and start buying stuff when it's too early. But there we go. So I will do the unveiling of these bananas at April time. That's probably when I'll do the next video. And we'll see how they've done. Hopefully we've kept the height to about maybe 4 or 5 foot. And then we've got really on a running start for the summer next year. But yeah, it's possible to have a tropical style garden and for it to look tropical style throughout the year. Obviously in the summer it will look even better. Anyway, I will do a quick shot now of me messing about with these. Obviously the B&M ones, drill the holes in first for the drainage, then I'll put some stones at the bottom, weed control matting, compost and the plants. I've gone for some different types of palms here. So we've gone for the Tropicarpus, basic. These are all 3750. Wagneriensis, which I don't have any in the garden, so I'm excited about that, and the Chamaerops. All from B&M, 3750. Obviously, they've got ones that are a lot bigger, but to be honest, as people already say on these channels, the roots are everything. These have got a decent sized root for the size of the plant. I think these will grow better in the long run than buying one of the bigger plants where the root ball's hardly any bigger. And obviously they're a lot more money too. And then I've gone for some Cordyline Australis. Will they survive? I don't know. They're from B&Q and I got a discount, £10 each. Meant to be -5-ish. So yeah, if we have a frost next week, they might be short-lived. Or I might even just put them in the garage just to be safe. They're meant to be the hardiest of all the Cordylines. So we'll see. We live and learn. all done. Obviously, they match with the existing fake terracotta, which I think these really, really look the part. The closest I've seen to being real terracotta without blowing up in the frost. These palms have replaced the Washingtonia that I had, which I kept calling Australia, so some name I've made up myself. So these are obviously hardier, and I've put cobbles along the base to match the cobbles here. Ideally, yes, they would be planted in the ground, but we're running out of ground. Obviously, in the spring, colocasias will all be popping up back here, and there's the final one that I've just put in. So there we go, something achieved today. That looks a lot better than it was before.